a smoke detector when the batteries are about to die and you just start chirping, 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 things will set off the fire alarm for no reason in your house. That's what's happening right now to your nervous system. You used to be able to handle so much more. You used to be able to tolerate so much more. If you think about it, things that you used to experience in your past never bothered you, and now you're so bothered, triggered, or even activated by the smallest things that never even used to faze you. It was like water off the bridge, and now you're like, wait a minute, why am I so bothered by so many things in my life that never used to bother me? And what's happening is your nervous system is more hypersensitive than it was before due to what's called your window of tolerance shrinking. Your window of tolerance is how much your nervous system can handle before it sends a signal to your amygdala, which is basically your brain's smoke detector. Danger, danger, pay attention. When we have what's called a wider window of tolerance, we can tolerate more frustrations, uncertainties, unexpected events. But the more that our window of tolerance shrinks, we tend to get more hypersensitive to things that never used to bother us. And let me show you a graph on how to explain it a little bit deeper. Here is an example of a window of tolerance. So we've got the window of tolerance where your actions, your emotions adapt to your surroundings. Then up here we have what we call is our hyper arousal. This is like anxiety fire. Think of like being on anxious all the time. Then down here we have numb, passive, depressed, off, just like Eeyore energy. The goal is to be in the middle. This is where we can adapt, we can bounce back, and we can grow when we are in the window of tolerance. And so here, throughout the day, we actually can go on both ends of the window of tolerance. So let's say we start here and you wake up to your alarm and you're like, oh, I'm kind of running late. So now you're feeling a little bit anxious. Then you take a couple of deep breaths and you go in. Then you're hitting all the red lights to get to work. Now you're officially out of your window of tolerance. Then let's say you get an email from your boss that says we need to talk. Now you're feeling super anxious. Then you get a text message that someone you love is in the hospital and you're all the way down here. You're numb, you're disconnected. I can't feel, I can't think. I'm like offline. Then you get news that it's going to get worse. You're back here. Your boss is like, I don't care that someone in your family is not doing well. You need to be at work. So now you're anxious. You're trying to navigate. So you can see throughout the day, you can go through the window, up, down, up, down, up, down, until you go to sleep. And that's just one day. So these two lines here represent your window of tolerance. And the more trauma, uncertainty, stressful occasions, unprocessed emotions we experience, our window of tolerance starts to shrink. And what happens is those things like waking up and missing our alarm now kick us out of the window. Getting that text message from our boss or someone we care about. Now our window is so small that things that didn't used to bother us before now activated our hypo and hypoarousal states, the anxiety and depression states. So now you might be wondering, okay, my window is very small. Think about the life events you've experienced in the last few years or even the last few months. Your window is probably shrinking, shrinking, shrinking. Things that bother you that didn't used to bother you now bother you. And you might be wondering, okay, my window of tolerance has shrunken and I'm ready to expand it. What do I do? A couple things we have to acknowledge. Where are you being praised for being out of your window of tolerance? As we look here in the chart, we think about anxiety. A lot of us are praised when we're here in anxiety. We're in hustle mode, go, go, go mode, people pleasing, overextending, not saying no. People love us here. They get to take advantage of us. So if we're being rewarded for being out of our window of tolerance, our brain and nervous system will start to believe being in our window is no longer safe, efficient, or effective. And it'll start to believe that the anxiety you are experiencing is a way to be productive. It's a way to be successful. So the easiest way we can expand our window of tolerance, how much our nervous system can tolerate, is through nervous system regulation. We have to train the body that peace is safe, that rest is productive, that saying no is healthy, because right now you're running on anxiety. You're running on that high alert, high intensity, and your brain smoke detector, again, your amygdala is screaming, go, 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 danger, danger, danger. And your body's like exhausted to the point that now everything is setting your window of tolerance off. My favorite way to regulate my nervous system is through EFT tapping. EFT tapping is a beautiful experience where we get to send a signal to our amygdala that our body is safe, our body is rested, our body is regulating, and also our mind. EFT tapping allows us to repeat an affirmation or release something. And while we're tapping, we are sending a signal to our amygdala. It is safe to relax. And the more we can relax, the more we can expand. Another way that we can reset our nervous system is taking risk. And you might be like, I take risks all the time. I'm talking about safe risks that feel good in the body. Not like applying for that new job risk, or not like people-pleasing risks. I mean, for yourself. Where could you say no this week where you've already said yes, but you really didn't want to go? Maybe there's like an after work party, or maybe there's something with your friend and you really want to say no, but it doesn't physically feel safe. So you say yes. It's easier to just say yes than it is to say no. Taking risks that serve you versus people pleasing and overworking for everyone else. So where could you start to say no to everyone else and yes to yourself? That is a way we can naturally expand. When we start to say no to others and yes to ourselves, we're sending a signal to our mind, body, and soul that we get to be chosen. And when we are chosen, I can take that deep breath. I can take that time to ground and regulate. So first, I would start EFT tapping. Second, I would take risks that serve you. Saying no to people, telling your boss, I'm not going to work late every single night. Telling your clients, that goes outside my boundaries. I'm not going to message you on the weekends. Where can you start saying no to others and yes to yourself? The third one is repetition. We have to repeat this over and over until it feels normal and regulated. What does that mean? When I say no to someone, I don't tense up and freeze, right? When we say no and we tense up, we're shutting down. We're so afraid we're going to get rejected. So we're down here. Numb, passive, no feelings, no energy, can't think, dissociated, numb, right? We're fearful. On the other end, when I start to say no, panic, feeling unsafe, racing thoughts, reactive, right? Our goal is to feelings and emotions respond, not react. So those three things are going to allow you to expand your window of tolerance: EFT tapping, taking risks for yourself, and repetition. I would love for you to start your tapping journey. I have 3 free tappings down in the link below, and these tappings are all designed to help you expand your window of tolerance. The first one is before meetings or sales call. The other one is releasing an overwhelming day so you can sleep. And the third one is releasing the pressure to be on all the time. We live in a society where everyone knows you are the reliable go-to person, and they've been taking advantage of that. It is time for you to take a step back, say no to them, yes to yourself, tap, ground, and regulate, and repeat, rinse and repeat. And before you know it, your window is going to expand, and your amygdala is not going to be that super sensitive smoke detector. You ever heard a smoke detector when it's about, the batteries are about to die, and you just start chirping, 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 and then things will set off the fire alarm for no reason in your house? That's what's happening right now to your nervous system. Things are setting off your danger, danger smoke system, and your body is constantly reacting, reacting, reacting. EFT tapping, setting boundaries, risks for yourself, and repetition is going to help you bounce back from that hypersensitive nervous system to an expanded, elevated one that is in alignment with the goals that you are working towards. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. I release videos out every single week, and I cannot wait to see you in next week's video.